Hey guys, we just got back from the Megalodon. Or right? No, it's the Meg. The Meg.
But you know what it is.
Shut up, Meg. That's what I thought of when I first saw the logo. But yeah, it's basically a dumb summer action flick starring Jason Statham and a massive 70-foot long megalodon shark where he kung fu kicks it in the face, apparently.
It's impossible.
Okay, no, so he doesn't kung fu kick it in the face as badly as I wanted him to.
He does fight it hand to hand, though.
Yeah, he
Or
does
hand to
get
whatever.
does get pretty close to it. And so, what did you guys think? Obviously, this is kind of a crazy idea. So, what did you think?
Cheesy story, cheesy love interest, but I dug it.
Yeah,
I dug it.
Yeah, I did
really
too.
had fun with this one.
I thought it was dumb fun. It was a little bit better than I thought it would be. And it
no
did.
expectations when you hear something like this. After hearing Sharknado, it's like, oh, the Meg. You're not expecting much.
Yeah, I came in kind of expecting a cheesy one. I just wanted to have fun with itself. Took a little while to get started in that first act. Other than the opening scene, we got Jason Statham sets him up as some rescue diver expert, which is actually Jason Statham in real life. That's where he was known. He was a competitive swimmer and diver. So he really looks good in these scenes.
I too am a diver.
Are you, Joe?
Yes.
A holy diver?
No.
Oh, okay, I thought you were gonna say something. All right, anyway, so he looks great in that, and he's doing the submarine rescue at the beginning of the film, and he has a bit of a brush-in or an encounter, which I don't know really fits in with the rest of the film now that I think about the plot line, but it just kind of sets up he has history with this creature, and there's a lot of these kinds of plot contrivances and conveniences rather, and tropes. But, you have to kind of roll with the punches in a film like this that sets up this massive shark. Now, I will say that it's a lot larger film than it was. A little bit more high budget than I was expecting. I kind of was thinking that, we really wouldn't do a lot of this underwater exploration. And I really enjoyed those parts of the film. If you're a marine biologist, if you're into underwater diving.
I actually love that aspect of it because I love all that stuff, and even like the unknown, like the ocean is so deep, nobody knows what's down there. I love it's kind of like space.
Yeah, and so they go to the lowest point in the ocean, but apparently they said that's not really floor, that's just like a cloud.
It's a layer of gas.
A layer of gases which you could penetrate, and it has some funny jokes in there, and then there's a whole new sort of environment and ecosystem, and that's where we meet the megalodon that we've seen in the trailers, and obviously gets loose, terrorizes little Yorkies, and the people on yachts and stuff, and it was satisfying. I thought it was satisfying.
It was a stupid movie that knew it was stupid, and so it's kind of. We compared this a lot to kind of Skyscraper, right? Where like Skyscraper was a stupid movie that forgot to have fun.
Yeah.
And this is a movie that like it knew it was stupid. It had a lot of fun. It joked a lot, and some of the jokes didn't work, but a lot of them did. And there were some like really funny parts. So
now,
it's an okay movie.
Don't get us wrong. It wasn't like to the point where it was parroting itself. It did take itself kind of serious, but it knew when to have those moments of fun, like Alex is saying. Whereas Skyscraper never had those. This one does know when to have fun, but it was slow going in the beginning when they really tried to pull emotional heartstrings with this mother character. You've got this 8-year-old girl on the ship, and at first it just wasn't working. Her father is the marine biologist researcher, head of the station. You've got Ryan Wilson comes in as the eccentric billionaire who is funding this research station. And in the beginning, I don't know. I don't know if it's the awkward dialogue, because it is an international film. In fact, the logo at the beginning, I think, is from a Chinese company. Yeah. So you can tell that there's cross-funding here. This was distributed by Warner Brothers here in the States. But I don't know, it had a little bit of sort of the awkward dialogue. But thankfully, that breaks later on in Act 2 and Act 3, where, people were making some good jokes and some funny jokes. And I don't know what it is about. One of my favorite characters was the black guy. And it sucks because a lot of these movies, black guys always die first. You remember in Deep Blue Sea where Samuel L. Jackson? That one still gets me.
That was a shocker to me.
Right, because he comes out and he gets killed right away. And there's a moment in this film where you think that a lot of characters.
Yes, I was like, it's gonna happen again.
But
like, please don't do this.
Yeah, and so don't spoil anything, Joe.
Right.
But there's a lot of really moments where the film plays with your expectations and does it pay off? Doesn't it pay off? And it's got some really nice twists in that sense. But it could have been even more self-aware, and I think it would have made it a stronger film. As it was going along with the climax, how do you get a climax with a 75-foot shark? Is Jason literally gonna kick him in the face because he's known for his karate?
Yeah, he's known for his.
So how do they actually do this, Joe?
Do you want to give away the spoiler?
Okay,
We can't spoil it.
We can't. You're right.
does it with
I was about to
finesse.
force you to spoil the
No,
film.
he
so-
does it with finesse.
Okay,
He does
finesse.
what he does best.
No, there's a lot more
definitely-
underwater exploration and submarines in this film. And that's what I was trying to get at, that I think that surprisingly, this film, if it was done by, say, WB or who runs Six Flags, or not Six Flags, but, well, Six Flags could do it too. But one of the, water parks, this would probably make kind of a good underwater ride or some kind of motion ride as you're going around and you're trying to escape from the megalodon. You're going through with a submarine, these little areas, and it's tension filled. It's beautiful visuals. And it's great. So I was really surprised by Megalodon. Don't get me wrong, it's stupid. It really is stupid. And there's plot points where you're like, seriously, why would you go into water again? Or people randomly fall out of the boat.
Everyone falls out of the goddamn boat.
Every single character has their turn randomly falling out of the boats. I thought that was so funny.
Megalodon.
But like I said, we were willing to forgive a lot of the film's stupid moments.
Have several 11% beers.
I did not have any beers, and I thought it was better than I expected.
Yeah.
So, what else? I really liked the 8-year-old girl. I know she was charming. At first, I thought she was going to be annoying, and I was like, little girls don't talk like that. But as it went along, she actually was pretty endearing, and I liked her character a lot.
She did
so
enough.
some good supporting
She wasn't
characters.
overbearing.
She got a little creepy once, but
Yeah. What do you? I don't know what part. You'll have to tell us in the spoilers. Okay, so let's go ahead and give our final verdicts for the Meg. Let's
do it.
him first. I haven't decided.
Okay.
Okay, I decided. This might be tugging on my shark string because I love sharks.
You have a shark string, Joe? Where's
Yes,
that at?
I told you. One of my goals in life is to go in a shark cage. I want to do that so bad, and I've told you this.
So you like that scene where they do that
was
underwater
great.
cage?
I love sharks, everything about them. This was a cheesy movie, though. I've seen so much worse, but this was well done. I was entertained the entire time. A little bit slow in the beginning part, but it picked up, and it was great. I was entertained. I would give this a 6.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this a 6.
As kind of a trashy film where you're out on the water, you're just enjoying
It's
garbage
not a great
beers.
movie. That's what's like I brought it down. It was
It's
kind of
one of those,
cheesy.
kind of one of those,
But
dumb fun instead of
Exactly.
dumb boring like Skyscraper.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think, Alex? 6 out of 10 from Joe is slightly above average.
As long as I explain that if we're lumping this in with all the other summer blockbusters, I would also agree that this is a 6. I mean, I'm not going to compare this to like all of the great.
What were
cinema
you
of all
considering?
time.
Lower?
I was thinking like this is an average movie if you compare it to like all of the other movies of all time, right? Like it's kind of somewhere
Well,
in
we
the
can't
middle.
compare it to like
Yeah, I'm
obviously
not-
Marvel and stuff.
Yeah, of
You
course.
can compare it to Jaws. How do you think it stacks up against Jaws? For me, it has a little bit less tension building,
Yeah,
a
definitely.
little
Yeah.
less sympathy towards the mon. I thought that maybe they give in
But
Jaws
at
the
the
shark is
same
super
point-
evil. But
yeah.
what I was thinking that they would do with this one, since it's so ancient and mysterious, that they give it a little bit more personality. But no, this motherfucker has.
But at the same time, I like Jaws because they still had some like live stuff, no
Right.
CGI. But how are you gonna do that?
Right,
at
with the
scale?
Megalodon. But okay.
Exactly how they did Jaws with just a bigger.
Well, no, you needed. The Jaws was like, man,
Look,
that was
in
like
this
a
movie,
baby
one of the problems with this movie is the shark is constantly changing sizes.
Yeah,
like
that was
it's
it.
like,
That's
it's like
one of the
70
things.
feet, but then they pull it up at like there's parts of the film where you see it bite down on something. It's like that's like a 25-foot shark. That shark's like 150 feet. Now that shark's 90
that's
feet.
where it
That
dips
shark's
on
70
some
feet
points.
again.
It's
So
very inconsistent on the bites.
Come on, guys. It's just
no,
a
a
stupid
6.
movie.
You
All
got
right, so
Shark Week. Shark Week.
it's 6 out of 10 for Alex. And I'm going to agree. While I was in the theater and how satisfied I was with it. And then they do an ending that I'll talk about in the spoilers that was a little, okay. But, so I'm going to go, I was creeping all the way up to a 7, but there are some problems with the dialogue, and the first act of the film drags it down. When you get to that second act, you get the shark biting up on the, research station, which you've seen in the trailers. You get some encounters with submarines and sharks. And then in that third act, you get the climax. And I think it is a satisfying climax, well filmed with a bunch of people. You get your action there like you were expecting, like in Jaws. So it's satisfying in that. But because the dialogue is kind of poorly written, there were 3 writers on this project. And that probably was why there were a little bit of inconsistency. And the first act a little slower. And Jason does a great job, but
Jason being Jason.
It's Jason being Jason, and he doesn't have kind of the charm of some other ones. But I love Jason because he's so rugged, and I love his action films. I mean, you could have pretty much anybody do his role, to be perfectly honest. He doesn't really add that special ingredient into it, as Jaws characters had, but he does get the job done. So I am also going to go with a 6 out of 10. Now, you would think that's low, but on my score, it's above average. And this one, I'm actually going to recommend you go out and see in theaters if you're a fan of, marine biology, if you're a fan of Jaws, if you're a fan of the, water, films. So this is one of the better ones, bigger action budget, but not a lot of substance. Yeah. So, all right.
Well, actually, here's another thing, too.
Yeah.
I thought Ruby Rose was going to play
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bigger part. But
Yeah.
I'm glad she didn't. Well, they
Yeah.
gave her an American accent for no reason because like half the other people on the ship have an Australian accent. Like keep her original accent because it
that
sounded
would've
like
been
she
fine
was
because
struggling.
It's a research center. It's
Yeah,
everywhere.
and that could have been one of the reasons why she barely has any lines. There's like no point in her being in there.
Yeah,
so
there wasn't.
So there you go. Some of the supporting characters weren't as strong as
Yeah.
some of the classics. But all right, guys. So that's our opinion of the Megalodon. But I still recommend you go out and see it if you need something to see this weekend, and you've already watched some of the
Use
better
that movie
films.
pass.
Movie Pass has ended, Joe. It's struggling really bad.
Is it? Oh,
Ooh.
try.
Jeez, Joe. I mean, what did that drink do to you? Joe had the Megalodon
It's
drink.
11%. Stone Woot. It's
I
delicious.
didn't know the movie pass was dying.
Yeah, it is.
Already? Did you know that?
It's
I don't
struggling.
know. I don't
Anyways,
You didn't know either?
thank you for watching. Stick around if you want spoilers. We're just going to spoil the movie and have a good time together, okay, if you've already seen it. So thank you so much for watching. See you guys on the next Angry
See you
Joe Show.
guys.
Bye. All right, so spoilers section. So what were you talking about with the little girl that she has one moment that was...
She like pretty much says like my mom likes you too, and she's moving the eyebrows up and down
Oh,
like
yeah.
I want you to bang my mom. It's like this is kind of creepy.
Okay, that's written for her
I
kind
know-
of
I-
thing.
look, I know,
That's
I
the
get it.
adults being all the
Yeah.
things, but she's a cute ass little
Yeah.
kid, and she really made me laugh a lot. And when the black guy's freaking out, like, oh, I'm in the water, I'm in shit. She's like, shh, shh, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
And
she
I was like,
great.
oh my gosh, she's the best. And then, so they use submarines essentially to lure the megalodon away from.
But
There were two megalodons.
two megalodons.
So that's why I wanted to speak up when you guys were talking about size and consistencies, because there's a small ass megalodon. That's the one that was doing all the small bites, and there's a big ass megalodon.
Not when Rainn Wilson was by the whale. because he comes by, he's all scared. Yeah. The bigger one comes by and bites it like.
Because the little one's already been dead at that time.
Okay, so let me preface this. The film does a good job, and I failed to mention this in the review, of kind of explaining those little things that you wish they would explain in movies. Like, oh, come on, don't continue to fight it. You know, and that black guy again was like, nah, man, we're damn right. I mean, we're done with this. Because Ryan's character is like, I've ordered Rainn Wilson, sorry. Brings 2 destroyers, told the Australian government, the Chinese government, Philippines, it's all going to be taken care of, and we're just leaving. But he lied because he didn't want any legal liability, so he tries to go out there with 1 helicopter, 1 Black Ops boat, and
I actually thought he was going to be a bad billionaire.
Right, but he was actually a good guy.
Yeah, like usually he's like, all right, let's use these death charts or whatever to destroy the research center. I was like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, I did think that. I was like, wait a minute. Me too. They were trying to do a twist.
Fuck him up. But I was like, no, but he's a nice guy.
Thankfully, they didn't do that trope, and I was like, okay. And then once they killed it, at one point they pull it onto the boat, and I'm like, wait, that doesn't look like the size of
it's great
Megalodon.
White size.
It was like a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger.
It's okay, so it's 30 feet instead of 70.
Right, but they had just shown this research that they're supposed to be 75 feet long, and nobody freaking notices this?
But they didn't know they had brought 2 out. They didn't know.
Okay, so fine.
I'll give them a pass on that one.
No pass.
Anyways, so they use subs and these torpedoes to try to blow it up, and Jason's submarine gets damaged. And that's when he's going on these underwater maneuvers. And I was like, man, this would be a great fucking ride on the Islands of Adventure over there in Florida. Spraying water in your face like the thing. And you know they could do it because they have curved screens and stuff. And a lot of these submarines have bubbles. And they can spray water like, oh shit, we're filling up with water. It would be freaking awesome. So, but anyway, he eventually uses the submarine to cut the belly of the Megalodon to make it bleed first, but that doesn't kill it. And then he was going to commit suicide by ramming his sub into the Megalodon with the torpedo because the torpedo jammed, right?
Yeah.
And
instead, he gets out and grabs something sharp and starts stabbing the Megalodon in the eye.
In the eye. And then there's a great shot of them both coming out of the water and then falling out of the water.
Yeah, it pops up. He pushes it further into the eye.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping he'd kick it. And because the whole thing, when I walked in the theater, I want him to karate kick it. He comes so very close because there's a moment where he gets in the water with it just bare, the smaller Megalodon, where they're like, we need to track it. And so he has to get within 100 feet, fire off the tracker on its fin. Why would it stay surfaced for this shit? But the movie has a lot of those kinds of things. Like,
it's just a good thing that he was within 2 hours of the South China Sea where they were. Yeah. Like where Jason Statham just happens to live in Thailand.
Yeah. And also his wife, his ex-wife, happens to be the original sub-pilot who the Megalodon, once they penetrate this new area, the Megalodon rams the ship and he goes down there to rescue him. Turns out he's the guy that rescues his ex-wife.
And the doctor on board is the one that he rescued 5 years earlier, and it's just kind of it's kind of silly.
A lot of convenience in there where this doctor didn't believe him about the monster, but then obviously he eats his words and gets eaten.
Drink some beer, you'll get over it.
Yeah. Okay. And I kind of like that so the love interest, I didn't
cheesy, but
I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I like that all of his friends, including his ex-wife, were kind of like rallying for him.
Yeah, you don't see that very often in films because you would think, oh, if they're gonna bring these two and they just so happen to be in the same place and he rescues her, that they're gonna get back together, especially when she's hurt and he wants to, because she gets hurt inside the submarine. You think they're gonna get together? To do with him. But no, it's not. She didn't want to. They just don't work out. They're two people that don't work out.
They even said that it's like, oh, these guys are never gonna work out.
Yeah, right. And so it opened the door for the daughter character to, just randomly walk into his area and see all his hairy pecs and shit from taking a shower. She didn't even notice.
She walks in and he is just getting out of the shower and he only has a towel on.
And then I was like, okay, are they going to try to do a love interest thing here?
Yep.
And they did. And they did it respectfully. It's not like they make out at the end or anything like that. It's really the daughter trying to get her mom laid this whole time. She's 8 years old. So I don't think that really...
I was surprised.
What happened
I was surprised there was no kiss.
Yeah, well,
very surprised.
It was a weird thing because like her mom had died that day, but then like got revived, and her grandfather had died like the day before, and
right.
It was
so it probably would have been inappropriate
weird.
with the kiss,
but it was fine.
But I would have been fine with it, but I was surprised they shown restraint. So, what about the fact that it was a Chinese film and they had main characters that were speaking Chinese to each other, just 100% integrated in the film, not brought attention to?
There wasn't a problem with it. Like, it's gonna something that like people, the American audience, are gonna have to get used to because it's gonna happen more and more. I mean, like,
I've been seeing more and more logos in front of films with Chinese characters.
I mean, they want these big movies, and it's easier because they only get something like 10 movies, and so if like as far as like American movies, I think only a certain number of movies get to be brought over, and so
that's why Skyscraper's amazing over there.
Yeah, it's doing really well, and so we're gonna see more and more of it. But I think they did it pretty seamlessly. Like I didn't have a problem with any of the dialogue.
I think it's great. I like this whole thing too. You know, the thing is that I don't know if there's an American company would give them that big of a budget in order to, you know, make a film like this. So the fact that it got made and was slightly above average, I appreciate it. Yeah. I think this was better than The Great Wall, you know, with Matt Damon. So if they're doing stuff like this,
that's not a hard thing to do, though.
Last Jedi.
Oh, what? Damn, Joe. That's some hard ass shit. So yeah, no.
I mean,
I was pissed off with that movie.
I have soured so much. I think Joe, you know, we gave it like a 7 or a 6 or 7.
Did I?
Yeah, I don't know.
I was mad.
But after we made our videos, that has to be a completely separate video. All right, so you guys are drunk.
No.
All right, we're done. Thank you so much for what. Was there anything else?
I loved that he was swimming in there and he was like worried about the shark and he kept saying, "Just keep swimming, just keep swimming." Like there was a lot of like little bits of humor in there.
What is that from?
From Finding Nemo.
Oh, okay.
Dory.
Right, when he's butt naked. Well, he's not butt naked, but he's not. Whoa. He doesn't have any armor.
Jason, are you thinking?
Yeah. Look, he saw him naked in this movie, so he wants more. He's hairy pecs.
It's completely exposed to the shark, is what I'm trying to say, in a creative way, all right? I don't have very colorful language. I'm trying to spice up our reviews. Anyways, so he's swimming naked in the nude, trying to go out to the shark and stab it in the eye. All right, anyways, and kick it in the face. But yeah, so overall good film with some beers, with some friends, with the right expectations. Right? Lowered expectations. All right, guys. See you.
Same thing like as Sharknado.
Do you guys want to watch Sharknado next week?
Sharknado.
I really we should watch that.
Guys.
It's like go back in time or something.
All right. You know what is interesting? We don't have a review lined up because there's no movies that comes out. And I was thinking about doing Teen Titans, Death of Superman, or I guess we could follow up with Sharknado. But Teen Titans Go is really awesome. Go out and see it.
It's a lot of fun.
Fucking 8 out of 10, maybe 9 out of 10. All right, bye guys. See you all on the next AngryJoe show. Bye.
Anything else that we forgot?
No, I really just want to.